Hi, Larry Stair here, and welcome to the August 23rd edition of the Sunday School Information Sheet promo video, and you'll be receiving the info sheet in your attendance notebook this weekend. So it's a four-pager, a lot going on. So let me kind of touch on some highlights, give you some details that maybe aren't in the info sheet that you'll want to be aware of. So let's get started, shall we? So the first thing I want to call your attention to is every time we do an info sheet, that's your reminder that those goldenrod prospect sheets are in the notebook. And so if you have those prospect sheets, please be sure and make assignments in your class this Sunday and then call for those reports next week. And so let's be faithful to contact those people who are visiting us and expressing an interest in becoming a part of First Baptist. And so very excited about that. I also normally don't wear a t-shirt for the video, but I wanted to wear this one. It's my Evolution of Man shirt. So babies crawl, ride a tricycle, get a bicycle, get a motorcycle, because that reminds me that things change, things get better, bigger, newer, those kinds of things. And so that was a lot of what we talked about at the Sunday School quarterly leadership meeting last Sunday, is new things. And so with that, in the info sheet, there's a calendar of new events. You see children's choirs are starting, Apex is starting, Precept Ministries, Awana, WOW, just a ladies book club. Lots and lots of things are getting geared up and ready to start. So please be mindful of those and let your folks know. Well, list of fall Bible studies. It's not the full and complete list, but there are several Bible studies starting and getting ready to go. So please let people know that as well this Sunday. So let's talk about the future, shall we? We're at a crossroads, and I like the graphic that Sherry found because we've been using a product called Shelby as our church management system since the 90s, and it's getting a little long in the tooth. Still worked fairly well, but as you can imagine, there are a lot of new things that have transpired technologically since the 90s, and so we're in the process of moving to a product called Shelby Next. And if you want to know a little bit more about that in detail, that's a lot of what the handout is about. Take some time to read that so that you'll be aware of those things that are coming as we go through the transition process over the next week or two. Probably the first thing that you're going to see that Shelby is coming is a new style of roll sheet. We don't have as much control over the printing part of it as we used to, at least in the initial phases, and so you're going to see, and this is obviously just a sample roll sheet that I've been playing with as I learned the program, but there's an attendance for your group, and so you see at the top where the group name is listed. We'll probably still put our stamp up in the very corner, but the people who are part of your class, and a place to list the visitors, and then to total all of those things. So you'll notice that's coming. And so there are other changes, lots of changes that are coming, like you'll be able to add pictures of your class members straight from a cell phone. The big thing is that our data about people moves to where it is live. There's a gatekeeper feature, so we can kind of proof and check things, but a lot of things will happen instantly. One of those would be attendance down the road. And so here's my little sample group. And so to do attendance, all you would do is have someone that is in your class with a notepad. It could be an iPhone, Android device, and they open up the class that they're a part of, your class, and they just touch the names of those that are here. And so a lot of changes are coming as far as how we deal with people. A lot of the information is going to come more directly to you as a Sunday school leader, and so you'll be hearing more about those. There'll be a training session to where you bring your device. We're going to look at your class, and I'm really excited about that. Take some time, take the handout home this week, kind of read through some of the details, look at more of the screen capture shots, those types of things. The link for the handout is also online in the email, so that you can share that with others. I'm also going to put a link to the full quarterly meeting if you didn't get a chance to watch that. So just be mindful that changes are coming. I think once we're through the period of change, you're going to like what access you have, and we'll be able to minister to people better. It's going to be easier to know who was here, who's missed, contact them. Wouldn't it be great that if you could go home on Sunday afternoon and send a quick note to everybody in your class that was absent on Sunday? That's the level that we're shooting for in this change. So is that we become a much more responsive, ministry-oriented church, and that we know when people are there and not here, and how we can minister to them. So I threw up my blog. If you haven't been reading my blog, let me encourage you to go back and to do that. The watchword for this coming year is going to be a bias towards change. As our church prepares and readies itself to grow, as leaders, we have to begin talking about the positive aspects of change and of growing. We need to have a bias in our conversation towards new is a good thing. And so new classes are a good thing. People coming in and being new leadership is a good thing. Certainly want to manage that and be mindful of teaching the Bible with integrity, but we need to open up and let new people lead and new classes begin. And so just remember, the bias this year is towards starting the new. And so with that, know that I'm praying for you as you get ready to teach God's Word this Sunday, and look forward to being around and touching base with you, and know that it's going to be a great day in God's house, especially as Jared begins a new sermon series. And I may even put a link to that so that you can share that with your class as well if you send out emails before Sunday. So with that, let me tell you goodbye, and remember, the bias is towards growth and something new. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.